it's Starzy and it is October 1st, which means it is officially spooky season, and I am in a full gothic Lolita co-ord, witchy themed, to welcome in the season, as you do. And what was my point here? My point is I'm starting a vlog because I want to try and vlog throughout October because of all the things that are going on, and because October is one of my favourite times of year because I love all things spooky, even though I can't really share that with many people this year, things as they are, but all the same, yeah, lots going on. I'm actually like planning so many things that I'm not sure whether realistically I'm going to be able to keep up with it all, but we'll see how we go. So I'm obviously helping to co-host Spooktober, which is a month-long readathon, and as part of that I'm also hosting a movie night, which the movie night schedule is up on Spooky Movies now, which this video will be up before the night I'm hosting. So that's why I might as well talk about it now. I am hosting a movie night on, I think it's Pacific time, Friday the 16th at 9 PM, which for me is the Saturday afternoon. So that's why I put it in there. I wanted to make sure it was a weekend because another thing that's happening this month is I'm actually likely to be getting work again. So that, again, is going to make it even harder to juggle everything. But yeah, so on that day, we're going to be watching The Babysitter, which is just like over-the-top teen horror fun. And the reason I particularly picked that movie is, one, because it's one of my favourite movies I watched like last October and had a lot of fun with, but also it's a Netflix movie, so I figured that way everyone who has access to Netflix will be able to watch it. Whereas other movies that are on Netflix, like which movies you have access to completely depends on which country you're in, so it's a Netflix original for that reason. So that's happening. So yeah, the readathon, movie night. As part of that readathon, there's also a set of 13 photo challenges which I want to try and do, which I'm not very good at keeping up with photo challenges, so we'll see how I go. But today's is October reads, so I'll need to take a photo of the one book that's currently officially on my TBR. So because there's lots going on, I'm only committing myself to one book, and that is Dracula by Bram Stoker, which I actually tried to read this a couple of times as a teenager and never got through it, so hopefully we'll do better this time. But I'm also going with that, obviously perfect kind of spooky Halloween read, and because I've got such a thing for vampires, it kind of frustrates me that I've never finished it. But also, one of the co-hosts of Spooktober this year is actually starting a book club, which is all about spooky books, and the book club's called, I think, The Lamentable Library, and Dracula is the pick for this month. So that was, yeah. So that's the one book I'm officially on my TBR, so I'll need to incorporate that in a photo at some point today, so that's one of the things I have to do. Another thing I have to do today is decorate, because I always pull out some of my decorations on October 1st. But I was talking about my October plan, so yeah, so the readathon, photo challenges, movie nights. I'm also doing the same thing I did last year, or at least I'm going to attempt to. We'll see if I'm as successful, because I did accomplish it last year, and that is 31 spooky movies in 31 days. So that is something I'm going to be doing this October as well, which is another reason I'm only picking the one book, because realistically my focus is going to be much more on watching movies. I mean, last year I didn't even complete an entire book in October, but that's also because I was reading it, and that thing's massive. If I'd picked a smaller book, I would have completed at least one book. So yeah, so the readathon's going on, 31 spooky movies in 31 days, so that's kind of going to be one of the main things I'm focusing on. I was also considering doing like a daily art thing on October, but realistically I don't think I'm gonna have the time to do that, just because I've never really participated in any of the many October art things that go on. Which realistically, if I start getting work again, this is why, if I start getting work again, that pretty much means my day is work, horror movie, go to bed during the weekdays. So yeah. That's my plan. Maybe I will also bust out some more spooky themed looks throughout the month, because that's something I always like to do as well. And yeah, I think that's the bulk of it. Oh, I also need to film my wrap up. I should probably do that too. We'll see if I get around to doing that today. But I only read a total of 3 books last month, and one of them I only read yesterday. Because really, see, this is my other problem, is really the thing I've been spending majority of my time doing recently is playing video games. Including my friends and I have started doing like a weekly game night on Saturdays. So again, that's kind of narrowing down the time I have to do everything else. But yeah, October, spooky season, it's gonna be a good time, hopefully. Yeah. This is also the first time I've worn fake lashes since I haven't been going anywhere. I haven't been bothering with lashes. I think the last time I wore fake lashes was the last convention I went to, which was in February, March, early March, like obviously before things started here. So it's been a very long time and it feels very weird. Oh, I should show you like my actual, considering I'm in a friggin' Lolita cohort, I should actually show you the full thing. This is actually a dress that I have had since I was 17. So I've had this dress for 10 years and it is actually the dress that I wore to my first ever school formal. So that's the origin of this dress. It's actually the only Lolita dress that I currently own, which makes me very sad, but I've been eyeing off some things, so I might be getting another one soon. But yeah, my first school dance, this is the dress I was wearing because who wants to be normal? What are you doing, Ginger Snaps? I was going to film with you and you ran away from me. There's a few little things, like a few fake webs that I put around the place. And like my dining table is really the main thing that gets the spooky treatment. I almost forgot about the fact that there's an Animal Crossing update for October. Are you ready for 31 days of spooky movies? It is October 2nd. Let's ignore the fact my hair clearly needs a wash day. I believe the first spooky movie night is this morning for me, and it's Hocus Pocus, which is a movie I've actually never seen before, so I will be watching that. And otherwise I'm feeling pretty tired today, along with I've had like this neck pain spreading out through my back as well, like all week, and I don't know why, but like it's very painful and uncomfortable. All of that is to say, I'm probably gonna have a very lazy Friday because I'm tired and in pain. We actually watched 2 movies last night. We watched Pet Sematary, the movie that was released last year, and I've actually never read the book or seen the original movie, but I thought it was okay, although it did kind of raise more questions than it answered things, and like, is there a story behind the creepy kids with the masks, because they were never seen again. And then we watched Zombieland Double Tap, which, thanks, I hate it. It was equal parts silly and insulting, and I don't really want to talk about it beyond that at the moment because I'm so disappointed at that movie, because I really enjoy the original Zombieland. But it does mean we're a movie ahead if, you know, we miss a day or whatever, which is always a good feeling. But yeah, so I'm gonna watch Hocus Pocus and then possibly nap. We'll see what happens. And obviously no real plans for the weekend because we're not allowed to go anywhere. We are still in lockdown. I should probably also actually start reading, because I feel like if you're helping to co-host a readathon, you should do at least some reading within that month, right? And it's the second day and I have not done any reading. So maybe we'll start Dracula today. Maybe. No promises.
It's a pumpkin. It's perfect.
Ginger Snaps, would you please not knock the chair that my phone is leaning on? So, do I have anything in particular to update on? I did start Dracula yesterday. I read just the very short first chapter. The first thing my initial thoughts though, you know, nowadays when teaching primary school kids creative writing, there's a lot of focus on sizzling starts. So, you know, basically just making sure the start of your writing is interesting and grabs the reader and makes them want to keep reading. where Dracula starts with a diary entry where he talks about how his train was late, and then in the next paragraph talks about what he ate for dinner, and then across the next 2 pages he again mentions how all the trains are late. I can't say that if I was judging this book on the first page that I would necessarily keep reading. I don't know, by the end of the chapter, I guess he's on the way to Castle Dracula, so we'll see, but I honestly do not have high hopes at this point, especially since, as I said, I've tried to read it as a teenager before and didn't finish it. So yeah, but I've started it. I can say I've started it. I watched Hocus Pocus yesterday morning. I can say that I've seen it now. I'm not sure whether it's something I'm necessarily gonna feel like feel a need to rewatch, but like I've seen it now. Otherwise, I honestly couldn't tell you what I did with the majority of my day. I'm still like in so much pain, and it was really making me struggle existing yesterday. Yeah, I know I played some Rocket League last night, and otherwise I don't think I did much. Today, it's actually gotten really warm this weekend, so like we can't really go out and take advantage of it, although some people are trying to, and you're freaking stupid. Anyway, weekends also usually kind of cleaning days, so got some cleaning and washing and stuff to do this weekend. Oh, and Saturday nights are also game nights. Saturday nights are when I play games with my friends, so I'll be doing that. I also need to fit in a spooky movie, of course, because that's what I'm doing at the moment, so I'll probably watch a movie this afternoon before game night. Maybe try and get a bit of reading done. I'm so not excited. Also, I've been playing Final Fantasy IX recently, and I haven't played it in I haven't played it at all this week. So I kind of want to play that, but I also know that like it could suck me in for hours, and I've got other stuff to do. Maybe tomorrow. Yes, as soon as I put the camera on, you want attention. You don't come up to me before then, do you? No, you're speaking to someone other than me. Give me attention. Also, you can't even see my t-shirt, but it's my girls. I think this came from friggin' Movie World. Oh, I keep forgetting to mention, I'm actually doing an art giveaway at the moment. So if anyone's interested in a chance at free art, it's the pinned post on my Twitter at the moment, which is always linked in my description. So that ends on October 13th, where I will be drawing something for someone. It's like spooky themed, so the idea is choose a character or yourself. I mean, one of the examples is me in a Spyro onesie, but I'm going to be drawing someone, something in some kind of costume is the idea. So that's happening. Oh, I also drew Wednesday Addams yesterday. That's something I did while I was watching Hocus Pocus. I did a little Wednesday Addams drawing, and so I definitely want to get some more kind of spooky characters drawn this month. I just don't know how many I will end up doing. If I could do like a minimum of 4, so 1 per week, that would be ideal, but possibly more. We'll see how we go. So also, like if you have a favorite spooky character, let me know, because I haven't decided which other characters I'm going to be drawing yet. So yeah, I've just done Wednesday Addams. So I think that's it. We're reading this. Hopefully it gets better than talking about late trains and food. And he's also like obsessed with paprika, like, oh my god, there's paprika in all my food, and oh, I can't, it's so spicy, or something. I don't know. We've got this to read. Game night tonight. I'm excited for game night. There's that. I think we're playing Jackbox party games tonight, because we've been like alternating between Among Us and Jackbox. So, you know, one weekend we'll play Among Us, next weekend we'll play Jackbox games, then again, the next weekend we'll play Among Us. So that's always lots of fun. Get to have some kind of weekly socialization, even though we can't see each other in person, and we do usually end up hanging around and playing games for hours. So I am looking forward to that. Sailor Mercury earrings. If anyone like hasn't noticed by now, I really love chunky earrings, especially ones that like are something in particular. So these are, you know, Sailor Mercury, Sailor Moon. Oh, I've also like already failed the SBOOKTOBER photo challenges because I missed yesterday. I successfully posted one photo. I don't actually know what today's challenge is. I'll have to go check. But again, like, I'm definitely not gonna have 13 photos. I missed a day. Yeah, so there's that sad update. The other thing, in terms of Spooktober, like, reading challenges, I also found that going through them, like, Dracula fits so many of them. So that's why I was also feeling like, yeah, if I just read Dracula, like, I'm good, because it hits so many of the prompts for the readathon too. Also, I posted, so my first photo for the Spooktober challenges, you know, it was October read, so I posted a photo of this book, and I had a number of people saying, oh, it's such a pretty cover, which, like, I'm slightly concerned because, like, well, I guess, like, it's aesthetically pleasing in terms of, like, that minimalism kind of vibe, but also, like, the only thing that's on this cover is blood splatters, which makes me slightly concerned for people. I feel like I have a lot of energy today and not much to expend it on. I've played some Rocket League, done some washing and dishes. Ginger Snaps is here. This is Ginger Snaps' new favourite spot in the house, apparently. She keeps just sitting here. She's never stayed, like, in one spot for so long. It's been weeks, Ginger. It's been weeks. Yes. I think it's spooky movie time. I think there's a new horror comedy on Netflix, so we might watch that, so that I get my spooky movie in before game night. Isn't that right, Ginger Snaps? This is an interesting angle.
You're making it dark. Ah! Spooky movie, spooky movie.
What are we watching?
Xbox. Ah, where'd it go?
Vikings, okay.
That's not spooky.
Sharpen your stakes.
Giving it 3 more tries, and if I can't get it, I'm done. Done. I'm done. Got things to do. Ha! Ha ha! The fact that I get, like, I set the limit and then that's when I got it. There are tentacles in here. This is so tempting. So I didn't film anything yesterday, which was Sunday, because I was feeling so dead because I may have stayed up late watching my friends play Phasmophobia, which, like, spooky ghost investigation game. Good times. And then I may have spent half of yesterday watching streams of it. But I did also yesterday listen to a BBC dramatization of Dracula, which, I'll be honest, I was kind of just confused most of the time. But we'll see how we go with the actual book, I guess. And we've also watched, so Saturday the movie we watched was Vampires vs. the Bronx, which was okay. Gentrification, but make it vampires. And I feel like it didn't fully lean into the comedy or the horror enough, or effectively enough, so that's why it was kind of okay. And then yesterday we watched, I think the movie was called The Little Stranger, which was in the horror category on Netflix, but it's kind of not really. If anything, it's like a gothic drama with, like, some weird, potentially spooky stuff that just happens in, like, the second half of the movie. And yeah, I didn't really like that. So that's how the spooky movies are going. But yeah, I just wanted to make a quick update now, because then I will end this week 1 vlog that was like half a week because of when October started. But that's where we're at. We've still been watching our movies every week. I've been watching some spooky games, which I might try the game out myself too, even though I'm a wuss when it comes to horror games, so it could be a bad idea. And yeah, I did listen to a dramatization of Dracula, so I've kind of done some reading. And yeah, it was very confusing, but I think I got the general gist of what was happening some of the time. It was like a 2-hour dramatization that I think Tom Hiddleston was one of the main voices. But yeah, so this week, so yeah, I need to make a decent chunk in, like, the actual original Dracula book, but that's where we're at. And yeah.
And Snaps Say TTFN.